Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, the first one, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my story as anonymous? I am a South African woman. I have come here with my own confession, and my confession, it goes on like this. I want to tell you of a story that happened to my sister, and the reason as to why, as a family, it is very hard for us to celebrate Christmas because of what happened to my dear sister. My sister, she passed away. It was on the 19th of December. The year it was in 2015. It was quite a terrible year after she got a Malawian boyfriend arrested because of his bonus. When my sister started dating this man, I used to ask her if indeed she was in love with this man, because the guy, he was selling in town, but after that he then started working as a truck driver. 2 years after that, my sister then started renovating the house that had been bought for her by the Malawian man. And then I was sent by my uncle, who was my mother's brother, because as a family we had a meeting, because we could see that my sister, she was just using the Malawian guy, and we were scared because of witchcraft, because my uncle used to work in the mines and he was staying in the hostel. So my uncle used to tell us of stories about other Malawian guys that he had once stayed with in the hostel, the things that they would do if you would make them angry. My uncle used to say that people from Malawi, they are never violent with you. You can even accuse them, insult them, then they will say that it is fine. But sometimes when they would have returned back to their country, when they return back, then something bad would always happen to that person that would have beaten up or insulted that man that they would have insulted from Malawi. So my uncle used to tell us a lot of these stories, so she knew what they were capable of doing. So when we sat down as a family, we saw that indeed, even though my sister was pretending, but she was dating another man who was South African, and there were rumors that they wanted to get married to each other, and she wanted to dump that Malawian man. So my uncle and the family, they sent me to speak with my sister. I still remember very well when I arrived at her house. It was on a Friday night. She was fighting with her boyfriend, and I sat with her down and I asked her what was the story. She did not want to tell me the truth. Later on, that was when I spoke with my brother-in-law. We were seated outside. Then he started crying and he said that he did not know or understand what my sister really wanted from him anymore, because at that time, the reason as to why they were fighting, it was because my sister, she wanted to go out partying with her friends. But the problem was that the last time that they had gone out partying, when she came back, my brother-in-law found out that there was a used condom that was inside my sister's handbag, and this used condom, it was inside a tissue, and they had fought about it, and she had said that it belonged to her friend who had used it with her boyfriend, and somehow it had ended up inside of her handbag, and this was the problem that they were facing. And on that day, she wanted to go out to party with her friends, and there were men that were going to be with them at the groove where they were going. They were going to use the car for this other man that was staying in that very same street, the man who had recently divorced his own wife. So when they kept on fighting, I sat down with my sister. She did not go on that night, even though she wanted to go, but I convinced her not to leave her boyfriend whilst she was going to a groove. But she was telling me that she was tired of the Malawian guy, and I could clearly see that the reason as to why she was tired, it was because she had finished building a house. It was very beautiful, and she also had a spaza shop that she had managed to start, because that guy, he was working for this other Indian man who had a warehouse. So they would buy groceries here in South Africa and they would transport them to other countries. So they had gone and spoken with that Indian guy, and they had been given like everything that they had put in the spaza shop on credit. And this man, he was paying it bit by bit. So my sister was now settled. She was okay. She had a nice job, and now she had a small business. She had finished building a house. There was no reason at all for him to keep this Malawian guy. I sensed it as a woman, but she did not want to be open with me. She was just finding something to blame this Malawian guy so that she can be justified in whatever that she was going to do next. And I sensed that there was already someone that was in the picture that she wanted to get married to. And I told her not to rush in any kind of way, any decision that she was going to take. And if she wanted to dump the Malawian guy, at least she was supposed to compensate him for some of the money that she had been given by the Malawian guy, including our brother, who had managed to get a license as well through the Malawian guy and was being trained to be a truck driver. All of those things, when I was telling my sister, it was as if I was a fool. The next morning, she was all moody. She did not even want to speak with me. The next day, when I woke up, I greeted her. She did not respond, and she did not even want to speak with me. So then I left her house, and then I returned back home, and I told my mother about everything that had transpired when I was at my sister's place. So then we said, let us just leave her. Maybe they were just going to break up. But what we did not know was that my sister, she was targeting the money that the boyfriend was going to get that December. So my sister, later, after the money had been deposited into her account, because this man, he was unable to open up a bank account since he was not South African. So my sister then, I don't know how she did it, but she spoke with some police. The way that they arrested this man, he was not even taken to the police station. They just put him on one other vehicle that was already headed for Musina, that there had some people that were being deported, and that was the end of the story. The money for the salary, it was deposited into her account, including the bonus. And the bonus that was deposited, it was 8K. Back in 2015, 8K was a lot of money. And if someone will give you that much, you could use it to do something. And including the salary for December, it was also deposited into her account. After that, my sister, she started to get sick. She called me one early morning. It was around 4 a.m. My sister, she called me and she told me that she was vomiting. And I even asked him if she was pregnant, and she said, no, I'm not pregnant. And she told me that she had woken up and she had tried to get out of bed, and she had fallen out of the bed and she was vomiting in bed. And since it was late and we did not have a car, I then called my mother and I told my mom that my sister had called me and she was saying that she was sick. My mother then said that we were supposed to wait until we could be able to catch a taxi so that we can go and see her. Early in the morning, around 6, we then got onto a taxi and we went to where she was staying, because she was staying somewhere that was far. You had to use 3 taxis to go to where she was staying. We went there. When we arrived, Brother Nashi, the situation that we found, it was so sad, because she was in bed. She was vomiting, like she was constantly vomiting over and over again, and she was saying that her ribs were so painful at that time because she had been vomiting, she said, since 3 a.m. When we looked at her, we saw that her bed was covered in bees, but on the first day, the bees were not covering the bed. We could see 1 or 2 bees that were in the bedroom, some were in the kitchen. My mom even asked him if she was having problems with bees, and she said, no, these bees, they just entered in this room this very same morning when she started vomiting. So these bees, they started multiplying. They started multiplying like in the kitchen. It was plenty of them. So my mom then said that maybe there was something that was sweet that had fallen to the floor or somewhere that was causing these bees to come. My mother tried to clean the house everywhere, but the bees, they kept on coming. Then I heard my other cousin sister screaming. She had been cleaning the bathroom, and then she entered into the bedroom where my sister was sleeping. She screamed so hard because she saw that my sister, she was covered, and there were bees that were all over her hands, her hair, and her stomach and her breast area. There was bees everywhere. And as for my sister, these bees that were all over her, my sister said that she was unable to see those bees. She could only hear the sound that the bees were making, but she could not see them. She then started crying. We had already managed to ask someone to help us so that they can take us to the hospital with my sister, since she kept on vomiting and she was crying at the same time. That man accompanied us to the hospital, and he said that he had never seen something like that, because when he was driving, he could see bees that would just fly by, and those bees will fly again. And he kept on saying that, I see bees in front of me. We arrived at the hospital. She was admitted in the hospital. In the ward where she was, they even sprayed, because there were 2 bees that kept on moving around and around, following my sister, even on the bed where she was. These bees, they died, and after they died, my sister then said that she was seeing a blanket that was made out of bees, and there was 2 men that wanted to cover her with that blanket. My sister died in a very scary way. We were watching her when my sister passed away, like it was as if there was someone that was breaking her bones into several pieces by the time that my sister passed away, because we could hear her bones cracking as if she was being ripped apart. My sister, when she died, she was screaming, and even the nurse that was there, like, she was even scared to do anything because of the screams, the way that my sister had been screaming. So this is how my sister passed away in 2015. To this very day, Brother Nashi, I can't even celebrate. And as a matter of fact, I hate December with all of my heart, because it reminds me of the way that my sister passed away. And I just wish that when December is around the corner, when everyone is celebrating, I just wish for December to come to an end, so that at least I can focus on other things, because it makes me to think about my sister, the way that she died because she just robbed that man of his bonus money. Your dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Our sister was saying that when her sister passed away, her bones, it was as if there was someone that was chopping her up to pieces, because her bones were cracking. It is very strange. If you are a nurse and you have experienced like someone dying in a very strange way, is it possible for you to come and tell us, even if you are a doctor or you're someone that works in the medical field? Feel free to reach out to us on our page, Brother Nashim, and then you tell us some of the experiences that you have heard while at least you are working in the hospital when someone is losing their life. Maybe there is something strange that you saw, or the way that that person passed away, it was very strange. You can come and you can tell us through our Facebook page. Then there is another message that we also received. The message, it reads like this: hello brother, how are you? Can you please post my story as anonymous? I am a South African woman, and this is how I used to survive, and now I started facing a lot of problems. So I used to scam men, Brother Nashi, and this I was taught by my own sister. Like, my sister had been doing this for a very long time. Ever since she had broken up with her husband, this was her own hustle. She would date men and she will scam the guy and pretend as if she is going to see that man, and then she will just stop talking with that man and tell that guy that she can't go to his place. Like if there is a guy that is in Durban and we are here in Joburg, she can say, you have to send me money so that I can buy a bus ticket and food for me to eat along the way. But she will go and buy groceries with that money. And my sister taught me on Facebook, you create an account, and when you create that account, you go on Instagram, right? On Instagram, there are people that have created their accounts and they are no longer active on Instagram. So you take their pictures. Some of them, they might be having like even 300 pictures or so. So people will start to think that maybe this account that you have created, it is yours, and then you start to speak with men. And if a man say that he want your pictures, you just go on Instagram and then you take and download those pictures and you send the pictures to the guy, even sending some nude pictures that are not even yours, just sending your boobs and your private part, and men will give you money via e-wallet. So I preferred Capitec because there was no number that was needed. And my sister taught me to ask for small things, because a man will be able to buy you airtime, even electricity. And the airtime that we used to get, we would go and sell it to this other Pakistan. He was having a lot of spaza shops. So we would sell the airtime to him at a half price. And you could go there with airtime that is worth like 500 rands and he gives you 250. You can even take some food from any of his spaza shop, because this was how much we were making, me and my sister. I then met a Nigerian guy on a dating app, Tinder. He then sent me airtime after I had told him that I was broke and there was no electricity at home and my battery was going to run out anytime soon. I wanted him to feel scared so that he can send me the electricity. I gave him the meter number and then he sent that voucher for me, and it was 800 rands. I then blocked him because I said I don't do Nigerians. And after I had blocked him, since 2023, I am someone that is deeply troubled. In my dreams, I am persecuted by a demon. I am always being followed by a cat. This cat, I used to see it in my dreams, but now I even see it physically, and it is affecting me at work. I am now working as a receptionist. Sometimes there might be people that will be waiting to see other people that I work with, like those that would have booked their appointments. Then when I look at them, their faces will change and I will see the face of a cat. And this cat that I always see, it will be black, it will be skinny, and it will be black. And as for the eyes, they would be glowing so much that it will become so scary for me to keep on looking at that person. Sometimes I even just go up and then I go and I start to cry in the bathroom. So this is what has been happening to me. I am asking for advice and for help. If you know anyone that is a prophet, anyone that can assist me, I will follow in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed. They do happen in this world. Let us try to speak with them. If you know anyone that might assist our dear sister, you can even reach out to us through our Facebook page, Brother Nashib on Facebook. Let us meet again in the following episode.